The Forgotten Son. When I was a little boy, I always felt like my parents loved my brother more than me. He got the best toys, the biggest slice of cake, and the longest hugs. If he cried, they ran to him. If I cried, they told me to stop. It felt unfair. I wanted love too, but no matter what I did, it felt like he was more special. At school, I worked very hard. I did my homework and got good marks in my tests. I thought, maybe if I do well, they will notice me. But when I showed my report card, they only gave a small smile. When my brother won a small prize, they clapped loudly and gave him a big hug. I felt like I was invisible. Like I didn't matter. At home, he always got what he wanted. He picked the TV show, he got the last cookie, he had a big birthday party every year. My birthdays were quiet. Sometimes, I felt like I was just a shadow in the house. I didn't hate him, but I wished to be special too. One day, I sat in my room and asked myself why. Why did they treat us so differently? Was I not good enough? Did I do something bad? I wanted to ask them, but I was scared. What if they said yes? What if they said my brother was better than me? That thought made my heart feel heavy. That night, I asked my mom, "Do you love him more than me?" She laughed and said, "Don't be silly," but she didn't say no. She just smiled and walked away. I lay in bed, looking at the ceiling, feeling more alone than ever. Days passed, and I stopped trying so hard. If they didn't care, why should I? I didn't show my report card anymore. I didn't try to get their attention. I stayed quiet and watched them hug my brother and call him special. Maybe I was not special. Then one day, everything changed. Something happened that made me see things in a new way. It was a day I will never forget. A day that showed me I was not really forgotten. It was a rainy afternoon. I sat near the window, watching the rain. My brother was in the kitchen with my mom, laughing. My dad was reading a newspaper. I felt like I was in a different world. I wanted to go outside and let the rain wash my feelings away. But I just sat there. Then I heard a loud noise in the kitchen. My brother screamed. My mom called his name. I ran quickly. He had fallen, and hot tea was all over the floor. My mom held him and checked his hands and legs. My dad got a towel. I stood there, not sure what to do. My heart was beating fast. My brother cried, and my mom hugged him. "It's okay, my baby," she said. My dad cleaned the mess. No one looked at me. No one asked me anything. I felt like I didn't belong. I turned to go back to my room, but then something happened. My brother held my hand. His hand was small and warm. He looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "Don't go." His voice was quiet, but it felt strong. I didn't know why, but I stayed. I sat beside him while my mom checked his hand. My dad looked at me and said, "Can you bring some ice?" His voice was soft, but different. I ran to the fridge and got an ice pack. I gave it to my mom. She looked at me and said, "Thank you." Just 2 words, but they felt big. I sat again, watching my brother hold the ice. He leaned on me and put his head on my shoulder. It was a small thing, but it was real. That night, I lay in bed and thought about what happened. It was the first time my brother held my hand instead of my parents. The first time I felt needed. Maybe I was not invisible. Maybe I was part of the family, even if it didn't always feel like that. I listened to the rain. For the first time in a long time, my heart felt light. Something had changed that day. And deep in my heart, I knew this was just the beginning. Next morning, I woke up feeling different. The house was quiet, but I could hear my brother talking to my mom in the kitchen. I stayed in bed, thinking about yesterday, his hand in mine, his head on my shoulder. It was a small moment, but I could not forget it. Maybe he didn't see me like I thought. Maybe I was not just a shadow to him. I got up and walked to the kitchen. My brother was at the table. His arm had a white bandage. He saw me and gave a small smile. "Good morning," he said. It was the first time he said that to me first. I sat down across from him. My mom put toast on my plate. "Eat before it gets cold," she said. Her voice was soft. It felt different. While eating, I saw my dad looking at me. He didn't speak, but it looked like he was thinking. Then he put down his cup and said, "You helped yesterday." I was surprised. I looked at him but didn't know what to say. He nodded and read his newspaper again. It was a small thing, but it meant something. Maybe he noticed me. The day went slowly. My brother stayed near me. He asked for help with homework. He followed me outside. At first, I didn't understand why. But after some time, I saw something. Maybe he always wanted to be close to me, just like I wanted to be close to our parents. I had felt forgotten for so long that I didn't see he cared about me. That night, I sat on my bed again, looking at the ceiling. But I didn't feel alone. I thought about my brother's words, my dad's sentence, my mom's smile. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was not forgotten. Maybe I was just looking in the wrong place. I turned off the light. For the first time, I didn't wish to be the favorite. I didn't wish for more love. I just felt okay. And for now, that was enough. Days passed, and things felt different. My brother stayed close. He asked about my favorite games. He sat next to me while watching cartoons. He waited for me at dinner. It felt strange, but nice. I was not used to it, but I started to like it. I had felt so alone that I never saw he cared about me too. One afternoon, he knocked on my door. "Can I come in?" he asked. I said yes. He came in and sat on my bed. "It's so quiet here," he said. I didn't know what to say. He smiled a little. "I like being with you," he said. His words were simple, but they meant a lot. No one had said that to me before. Maybe he always cared. I just didn't see it. That evening, my dad came to my room. "We are ordering pizza." "What do you want?" he asked. I was surprised. Usually, they just pick my brother's choice. I told him my favorite. He nodded. "Okay," he said. It was a small thing, but it mattered. I felt like I was part of something. When the pizza came, we all ate together. My brother sat close to me. My mom asked about my school. My dad gave me the soda first. It felt warm, like I was really there, not outside the circle. I didn't have to try so hard. I didn't have to ask for love. It was just there. After dinner, my brother sat beside me in the living room. He leaned on me. "You are my big brother," he said. "That's special." I looked at him and felt something new. Maybe he always looked up to me. Maybe I focused too much on our parents and didn't see what was in front of me. That night, as I lay in bed, I thought about everything. Maybe my parents didn't love my brother more. Maybe they just showed love in different ways. Maybe I was so busy feeling left out that I didn't see the small things, like when my dad touched my shoulder, when my mom kept my favorite food, or when my brother smiled at me. I turned off the light and closed my eyes. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel lonely. I didn't feel forgotten. I felt like I was a part of something. And maybe, deep down, I always was. The next morning, I woke up feeling light inside. The house was quiet, but not in a bad way. I could hear my brother singing in the kitchen. I could hear my dad talking to mom and laughing. It was the same house, same people, but something had changed. Or maybe, I had changed. Maybe, for the first time, I was ready to see the love that was always around me. When I walked into the kitchen, my brother looked at me and smiled. "I made your favorite toast," he said, pushing the plate to me. I sat down, surprised. He had never done that before. My mom gave me a glass of milk without me asking. My dad asked how school was. Everything was simple, but it felt new. It felt like I was part of the family, not just someone watching from the side. After breakfast, my brother followed me outside. "Can we play something?" he asked. I almost said no. I wasn't used to spending time with him like this. But I saw the hope in his eyes, and I nodded. We played for almost an hour, laughing and running. My parents sat on the porch, smiling. It felt strange, but it also felt right, like this is how it was always meant to be. Later in the day, my dad called me into the living room. He was holding an old photo book. "Sit with me," he said, patting the space beside him. I stopped for a moment, then sat down. He opened the book and showed me pictures from when I was a baby. "You were our first child," he said. "You made us parents." His voice was soft and full of love. I looked at the pictures, me in mom's arms, me on dad's back, me playing with my little brother when he was small. I never thought about these things before. I had spent so much time feeling left out that I didn't notice these happy memories. Dad pointed at one photo where I was helping my brother walk. "He always followed you," he said with a smile. "He always wanted to be like you." I looked at my brother, who was sitting on the floor looking at another photo book. He looked up and smiled at me. Now I understood. That night, we all had dinner together again. Mom told funny stories about when I was small. Dad laughed and talked about the time I tried to make a treehouse and got stuck. My brother listened carefully, asking about things he didn't remember. For the first time, I felt like I really belonged, not because I did something special, but because I was already special to them. That night, lying in bed, I thought about everything. I had believed something that wasn't true. I thought I was not loved. But I was wrong. I just didn't see the love in the quiet things. Love was always there, in small actions, in soft moments, in the way my family stayed near me. I just needed to open my eyes and heart to see it. I closed my eyes and listened to the soft sounds in the house, my brother laughing, mom talking, dad walking. I smiled quietly. I wasn't alone. I had never been alone. Now, I truly knew it. The next morning, I felt new inside, happy and light. The house didn't feel cold anymore. It felt like my home. My brother sat beside me at breakfast and talked about his favorite cartoon. Mom laughed at my silly joke. Dad asked if I wanted to come with him to the shop. It was just a small moment, but it mattered a lot. It showed me that I was part of this family, not just watching, but really inside it. In the afternoon, my brother ran to me with a notebook. "Can you help me with my homework?" he asked. I usually said no. But this time, I nodded. We sat together, going through his questions. He listened carefully and wrote down everything. "You're very smart," he said, smiling. I never thought he saw me that way. But maybe he always did, and I didn't notice. Later, my dad asked if I could help him fix something in the garage. I followed him, and we worked in silence. Then suddenly, he spoke. "I know you used to feel left out," he said. His voice was calm, but I knew he meant it. "We didn't want you to feel like that." He looked at me, waiting. I felt something in my chest, then said, "I know." And I meant it. That evening, we all sat in the living room and watched an old family video. I saw myself as a little boy, running and playing with my brother. I saw Mom and Dad laughing and hugging us. I was always part of this family. I was never really forgotten. I was never alone. I just needed to feel it. Before going to bed, my brother came to my room. "Good night," he said softly. "Good night," I replied. He waited a second, then smiled. "I'm lucky to have you as my brother." I smiled too, feeling warm inside. "I feel the same," I said. And for the first time in my life, I really believed it.